श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम अखंडानंद संबोधः वंदनात् यस्य जायते गोविंदं तमहं वंदे चिदानंदतनुं गुरुम्. So yesterday we were seeing how we have to merge the effect into the cause. Okay. So when we speak about Ishvara's characteristics, we say Srishti Sthiti Samhara. We say Srishti Sthiti Samhara. Srishti means creation, Sthiti sustenance, and Samhara destruction. But we have to understand Samhara does not mean destruction here or there, even there. It means merging, because the creation came from the cause and it merges back in the cause. That's how we have to understand. Okay. Now, while discussing about that, we said the effect merges in the cause. What is the effect? The creation, not just the creation. Normally, when we merge the effect in the cause, we say the gross body is merged in the subtle body is merged in the causal body is merged in the self. Over. Fourth stage, done. No, that is not how we do in this system. We say the effect along with its food and the place, it merges in the, not the place, the place of existence for the enjoyment, the sense organs. So they merge in the Panchikrita Mahabhuta, the 5 processed elements. The 5 processed elements, which is the effect. Now it is the cause. It was the cause. Now it became the effect. Now the Panchikrita Panchamahabhuta, which is an effect, along with the cause of unprocessed element. What is the other cause? Not just the processed elements, also their characteristics. The characteristics of smell, etc. And the subtle body. So they merge in the cause, which is a Apanchikrita Panchamahabhuta, unprocessed 5 elements. That cause becomes an effect now. Unprocessed 5 elements, which has come from the ignorance, and it also has the cause, which is sattva, etc. Sattva, rajas, tamas, the 3 gunas. So the unprocessed 5 elements along with the 3 gunas, they merge in the avyakta, unmanifest, the ignorance. That cause becomes the effect. Unmanifest, what is the other possibility in unmanifest? The reflection. Unmanifest along with the reflected consciousness merges in the original, the self. So this is the stage of merging the effect in the cause. Okay. Now we have that one non-dual self. We were discussing about the different kinds of bheda, and I also said Vedanta is Vedanta. Vedanta means Vedanta. Vedanta, the essence of Vedas, the teachings of Vedas. Vedanta, the end of duality. Now, where is the end of duality? We have not destroyed, removed the duality. For that, we discussed what is sajatiya, vijātīya, svagata bheda, but we have not understood how to resolve it. So he is talking about that. ekaścandraḥ sadvitīyo yathā ddṛṣṭerdoṣādeva puṃsastathaikam brahmāstyetadbuddhidoṣeṇa nānā doṣe naṣṭe bhāti vastvekameva ekaścandraḥ sadvitīyo yathā ddṛṣṭerdoṣā eva puṃsaha tatha ekam brahma asti yetad buddhidoṣeṇa nānā doṣe naṣṭe bhāti vastvekameva yathā puṃsaha, for the person. Puṃsa means man, but here person, we have understood that. Okay, for the person, for the human being, for the being, ddṛṣṭerdoṣādeva, because of the defect in the eyesight. Only because of the defect in eyesight, ekaścandraḥ, one moon, sadvitīyah syat, is seen to be dual, 2 moons. There is only 1 moon, but because of the defect in the eye, the defect probably is a cataract. When you have cataract, either the vision will be blurred or the vision will be deformed. So now you see the moon, you have two moons. So that defect, tathā etat. Like that, though there are no two moons, but you see two moons because of the defect of eyesight. So when you see something which is more or lesser, that is because of defective eyesight. When you experience something because that which does not exist, or that is because of ignorance. That is defect of ignorance. When you see things which does not exist in the dream, that is because of the defect of sleep. Okay, so everything is because of the defect. So he says, tathā, similarly, example is because of the defect of the cataract, etc., the eyesight, you see duality. Tathā, similarly, etad ekam brahma, this one Brahman, ekam brahma. If you say ekaha brahma, then it becomes a masculine. Ekam brahma, it becomes a neuter. Eka brahma, it becomes a feminine. Ekam brahma, neuter gender. Our Brahman is neuter gender. Okay, so this one non-dual self, buddhidoṣeṇa, because of the defective intellect. Because of the defective intellect, nānā asti. It sees as though it displays as though there are multiple things. Okay. Doṣe naṣṭe, when the defect is removed, how will you remove the defect? That is why in ddṛṣṭerdoṣādeva we say, ajñānatimirandasya jnānāñjana-śalakaya chakṣurunmīlitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Ajñānatimirandasya, one who is blinded by the timira, the cataract, with the shalaka, which is with the instrument of knowledge, jnana anjana, which is medicine, the one which you use for applying medicine, instrument you can take. With the tool of knowledge, he removed the cataract and installed the jnana chakshu, the eye of knowledge. Like you remove the cataract, nowadays it's 10 minutes job, that's all. 5 minutes. You go, lie down, they apply something, remove it, scrub it, put a glasses and send you over. So what they do is they remove the cataract, the extra growth, and they add a lens. Over. They remove the protein and they add another extra lens. Jnana-anjana-śalakaya, that is jnana-anjana. Okay, so nānā asti, because of the defective intellect, you see multiplicity, plurality. Doṣe naṣṭe, if the defect is removed, if the cataract is removed, there is only one moon. If the defect of ignorance is removed, the intellect is removed, then vastvekameva bhāti. There is only one object, moon, or with the example moon, or with the exemplified self. That is true. Okay. What about the removal of the duality? We will come to that. Rajjoḥ svarūpādhigamena sarpadhī rajjvāṃ vilīnā tu yathā tathaiva brahmāvagatyā tu jagatpratīti tatraiva līnā tu saha bhrameṇa. Rajjoḥ svarūpādhigamena sarpadhī rajjvāṃ vilīnā tu yathā tathaiva brahmāvagatyā tu jagatpratīti tatraiva līnā tu saha bhrameṇa. Yathā rajjoḥ, like the rope. That's the example. Rope, snake is the example. Yathā rajjoḥ, like for the rope. Svarūpādhigamena, when we know the substratum, the real nature of the inherent nature of the rope, when we understand the rope, when we understand the true nature of rope, sarpadhī, the knowledge of snake. We are not removing the snake. We are just removing the knowledge of snake in the rope. You cannot remove the snake with your Removal of ignorance. Snake, if it exists, it exists. But it is seen because of the erroneous knowledge. So that erroneous knowledge is what should be removed. What is the erroneous knowledge here? The knowledge that it is snake. That knowledge, rajjvāṃ vilīnā syāt. That knowledge merges nicely, vilīnā. Okay, līnā means merging. Vilīnā, visheshena līnā. It nicely merges in that rope, in that substratum. Vilīnā, that's an important word. He should have said līnā. Līnā, laya, but he says vilīnā. If you say vilīnā, pralīna, etc., it has more stress to it. There is an important idea which is conveyed. We'll understand that idea. Now we say the knowledge of snake merges in that itself. Tathaiva, in that itself. In that rope itself. Tathaiva, similarly so. Brahmāvagatyā tu. Definitely, when we understand the self, avagati, to know. When we know the self, too, definitely. Nānā deva tu kaivalyam. Only through the knowledge you can gain the liberation. That is what is Vedantic statement, Vedantic declaration. So, it's Upanishad statement. So, brahmāvagatyā tu, only through the knowledge of the self, jagatpratīti. The idea, the knowledge of the pratiti means seeing, the vision of world of duality, jagat. But here pratiti means the knowledge of the duality. Jayate gacchati iti jagat. That which comes and goes, that which does not stay permanent. That is what is called as jagat. Okay. So in Vedanta there are two schools. One is nānā jivāvāda and another is ekaścandraḥ. I keep repeating again and again because we have to understand we don't follow the nānā jivāvāda. We follow only ekaścandraḥ. We don't follow the multiple or plurality of jivas. We accept only one jiva. Okay. Now there they accept there is one paramarthika state which is permanently permanent. There is one vyavaharika state. When you experience it is real. Therefore, it is a temporarily permanent. And there is pratibhasika state which is a temporary. Even while experiencing it does not have any existence. Like rope, snake, etc. So, paramarthika, absolute reality is self. Vyavaharika, the transactional reality, this transient reality, which is the world. And the pratibhasika, the seeming reality, which is the rope, snake, etc. Okay, so they accept these three kinds of existence. The people who accept the nānā jiva, the multiple or plurality of a jiva. But we accept one jiva. We accept only two states of existence. One is paramarthika, permanently permanent. The other is pratibhasika, temporary. There is no in between. Even the jagat which we see is pratibhasika, like rope, snake, like dream. They don't have any reality. So he says jagatpratīti, the vision, the experience of jagat, tatraiva līnā, in that it merges. That is how you should have said. But if he just says tatraiva līnā, then he should say tatraiva vilīnā, not līnā. Then what merges along with the jagat? Bhrameṇa saha, along with the cause. If you say the effect merges, then if you just say the effect merges, then you have to say pralīnā. If you say the effect merges along with its cause in the original, in the cause, in the real cause, then we have to say it is a līnā. So earlier he said the sarpadhī, the knowledge of a snake, nicely merges in the rope. Why nicely merges in the rope? Because he didn't say the cause of the snake. The cause of the snake is the ignorance of the substratum rope. Now, if he had said the knowledge of snake along with the ignorance of rope merges in the rope, then there is only merging. So here he says jagatpratīti, the knowledge of duality along with its erroneous knowledge, bhrameṇa, along with the ignorance, tathaiva līnā, in that self it merges. I don't understand. We'll understand. bhrānyoditadvaitamatipraśāntyā sadaikamevāsti sadādvitīyam tato vijātīyakṛto'tra bhedah na vidyate brahmaṇi nirvikalpe. bhrāntya udita dvaitamatīpraśāntyā ye sad ekam eva asti sadādvitīyam tathaiva vijātīyakṛto'tra bhedah na vidyate brahmaṇi nirvikalpe. Bhrāntya, because of the erroneous knowledge, udita, that which manifests. What? Dvaitamati, the knowledge of duality. The knowledge of duality arises because of the erroneous knowledge. Praśāntyā, when that completely subsides, when that completely merges in the cause, sadādvitīyah sadaikameva asti. Always there is one non-dual self. There is nothing else other than the non-dual self. Tathaiva, therefore, nirvikalpe atra brahmaṇi, in this self, which is a nirvikalpa. Vikalpa means choice. Choice, attributes. Nirvikalpa means choiceless, attributeless. So, when this or that kind or this kind. So, these are all choice or attributes. So, there is no choice, there is no attribute. Choiceless liberation and attributeless liberation is what we talk about. So, in that, the vikalpa, first meaning is a choice. Another meaning, nirvikalpa, when you say, then there is choiceless or attributeless. There is another meaning, according to the yogis. In Yoga Sutra, it is said, there is the word vikalpa which is used. What does that mean? Vikalpa. Shabdajnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpa, he says. Shabdajnananupati. When you say a word, a statement, then you gain the knowledge. But in reality, vastu shunya, there is no object like that. I don't understand. Okay. Mare's horn. Rabbit's horn. You understood? Yes. Barren woman's son. You understood? Yes. Rope snake. You understood? Yes. But where is rope snake? Where is barren woman's son? Where is mirage water, etc.? They don't exist, but you understand. Rabbit's horn. Where have you seen rabbit's horn? You understand. So that is what is called as vikalpa by yogis. Nirvikalpa means even that does not exist. But attributeless, choiceless is okay. But this vikalpa, I'll explain. See, in Taittiriya Upanishad, it clearly says, yathā vāco nivartante aprāpya manasā saha. From where vachaha, the words, manasā saha, along with the mind, nivartante, returns back. Aprāpya, without grasping it. The words and the mind don't grasp the self, because self is not an object for the word or mind. Therefore, that which is not object, nirvikalpe. Atra brahmaṇi, in this self, vijātīkṛta līnā syāt, they all merge. Therefore, in this self, vijātīkṛta bhedah na vidyate. This duality, which is based on the vijātīya. Vijātīya means virodha jātīya, of different class. Neem, mango tree. Neem tree, mango tree. Or neem tree, stone. Vijātīkṛta bhedah. That does not exist. Okay? Now, next is sajatiya We spoke about three kinds of duality. One is vijātīyakṛto'tra, the other is sajatiya, the third is svagata. Now we go to the sajatiya. He says, yada astyupadhi tada bhinna, yada astyupadhi tada bhinna atma, tada sajatiya iva avabhāti, swapnārthavattasya mrushatmakatvat, tat apratito swayameva atma, brahmaikataameti prathakna bhāti, tata sadvitīyo na bhedah. Yada asti upadhihi tad abhinna atma tada sajatiya iva avabhāti. Swapnārthavat tasya mrushatmakatvat tad apratito swayameva atma brahma ekatam yeti. Prathakna bhāti. Tataha sadvitīyakṛto na bhedah. Yada upadhihi. Then there is upadhi. Upadhi means there are two meanings again. Upasamīpam gunan adhadati upadhi. That which takes the characters or attributes of the things close by and superimpose on itself. That is called as upadhi. Like the crystal. When you place a red cloth below the crystal illumines itself as red crystal. The redness is not in the crystal. The redness is of the cloth. It takes that character in itself. That is upadhi. And another upadhi is embodiment. Embodiment. Both can fit here. Okay, limiting adjunct or embodiment. Okay. Now we see upadhi. Yada upadhi. When that upadhi asti exists. Tada. Then what happens? Tad abhinna atma sajatiya iva avabhāti. See, if the upadhi exists, there is no problem. Really, the upadhi exists, there is no problem. If the crystal exists, there is no problem. If the cloth exists, there is no problem. When the crystal and cloth are kept together and the crystal starts reflecting the cloth's characters, then that's a problem. Understand? So, upadhi in itself is not a problem. But what happens invariably is that abhinna atma. The atma becomes that abhinna. Means it is inseparable from that embodied. Atma becomes inseparable from that embodiment. So, only when that becomes inseparable, that inseparability we call it tadatmya adhyasa. Tadatmane bhava iti tadatmya adhyasa superimposition. Tadatmane bhava. As itself. Superimposition as itself. I superimpose myself as a sentient being. I superimpose body, sense organ complex as sentient being, as experience, etc. That is the problem. Okay. So, tadabhinna atma, the self which is identifies itself with that self, the body, the upadhi which identifies itself with the self, and because of that, sajatiya iva avabhāti. He is not saying sajatiya avabhāti, the duality shines. He is not saying that. He is adding a word eva. Eva means as though, seeming. That's an important keyword. So there is it seems as though there is duality. It seems as though there is duality. The duality shines as though it exists. What do you say? I see the world of duality. You see me, then it is your problem. I see you, then it is my problem, not your problem. That is what is Vedanta. Now, how do you say, I experience the world of duality? Yes. Then how do you say eva? Yes, we'll explain that. Swapnārthavat, dream. Dream is a beautiful example. And because of the dream, we curse dream. Oh, I have dreams, good dreams, bad dreams, whatever dreams that may be. Without understanding, we curse it. Dream is a beautiful blessings by Ishvara. Beautiful blessing. Without dream, you cannot explain this. There is no equivalent. What is the dream example? In the dream, good or bad doesn't really matter. The dream, who is the one who is experiencing the good or bad? You. Who is the one who is making you experience that good or bad? You. Who is the one which is the environment for that good or bad? You. So you are the experiencer. You are the one who produces the experience. You are the one who is the environment for that experience. It's all you, nothing but you. Therefore, tasya mrishatmakatvat. And all that which is seen there in the dream, they are all mrisha, mithya, illusory. They don't have any real existence. Therefore, when you understand that it is illusory and remove it, that apratito, when that does not shine. The dream is removed once you come to the waking state. Once you understand the substrate, the superimposition of the world is removed. So that apratito, when they don't illumine itself, when you don't see the duality. Yesha atma swayam brahmaikatam yati. This atma, this individual self, gains the absolute self itself. Swayam, by itself, Yesha atma, this self, this individual self, brahma ekatam, identification with the absolute, eti, inagato, gains. There is no gaining here. Inagato, the root word is ina, and the meaning is gato. Gatyarthaka dhatu have three meanings. Brahma vida apnoti, Taittiriya Brahma vida, the knower of self, apnoti, gains, param, absolute. So, there the prapti, apnoti means prapti, prapulru, prapane dhatu. So, prapti, gati, jnana. There are three meanings which are interchangeable. Gati, if you say go, to go, the meaning is going, etc., then it can be understood as knowledge or gaining. If it is knowledge, it can be understood in going or gaining. If it is gaining, it can be understood as going or knowledge. In Vedanta, going and gaining is knowing. Okay, so Brahma with the knower, or the one who understands that this self, this individual self, understands himself to be absolute self, knows himself to be absolute self, remains as absolute self. Okay, so purchakna bhāti, it doesn't see, it doesn't shine as absolute self, different from himself. There is no duality. Okay, therefore tathaiva, therefore sajātīkṛta bhedaha na. There is no duality which is created by the duality of similar clause. There is no similar class here, so there is no duality of similar class. Neem tree, mango tree, stone. No, there is no duality here. So the duality you see is because of the ignorance of the substratum. When that is understood, because of the identification with the substratum, the duality identifies itself with the substratum identifies itself with the duality. So therefore, there is an interchangeability, that interchanging identity. Therefore, you confuse yourself with the inert and the consciousness. So when the consciousness is understood as consciousness and inert is removed as ignorance, as superimposition, as illusory, then there is no issue. Okay, you see this. Om Purnamadaః Purnamidam Purnāt Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevāvashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.